It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Yes, it is showtime. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Wednesday, Working Divas Wednesday, halfway to the weekend, the Geno Jones Show. Now, my normal days and start time, Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Like, share, subscribe. Right now, tell everybody you know. Group text, you name it. They used to have something back in the day called a party line. I guess the new party line is a group chat. But spread the word. Click on that like button right there. Share and subscribe. Share this episode. You can share. You can tag everybody you know and tell everybody to subscribe to the channel. I think I'm, about 5 or 6 new subscribers away from becoming a YouTube partner. That means that my media company and the show will get a monthly check from YouTube. The Geno Jones Show brought to you by Mayor Shardell Murray, the town of Hollywood, South Carolina, and Murray's Mortuary, 3 locations. Hollywood, South Carolina, you got Johns Island, South Carolina, and North Charleston, South Carolina. Big shout out to Mayor Shardell Murray. You will be seeing Mayor Murray. We already had one of her council people. Councilwoman was on the show. She was amazing. So thank you, Mayor Shardell Murray, the town of Hollywood, South Carolina, and Murray's Mortuary, for your support. You can support the show financially too, or if you want to be a sponsor, just shoot me an email, genojonesshow@gmail.com. And you can also support the show financially via Zelle using my email address or Cash App, $dad, the word dad, G Jones. It's all one word. So I'll repeat it at the end. You can rewind it when the show's over because I'm live. Speaking of live, the show is interactive. So if you're watching me live now, and I know you guys are out there watching me live now, you got a question. There's a lot to talk about. We're going in tonight, but we go in every night. But yeah, we're going in deep tonight. So, but if you got a question, you got a comment, you want me to shout somebody out, Pisces, stand up. I know you're celebrating birthdays, Pisces. If you want me to give somebody a birthday shout out, jump in my chat room. You see where it says live chat right there. You see that? It could be, I don't know if it's, everybody's screen is different. So it's either below or maybe on one side. It says live chat. Just get on the keyboard and type in whatever you want to type in. Whatever shout out. You want me to shout you out. You got a question, you got a comment. All right, here we go. So we have primaries all across America. We have primaries in Texas. We have primaries in North Carolina. We have primaries in Arkansas. I'm probably missing some. But speaking of Arkansas, shout out to Dr. Chris Jones, a.k.a. Cuz. You've seen Dr. Jones on the show. Brilliant, a real-life rocket scientist. And he ran to be governor. He should have been the governor of Arkansas. But the racist white nationalists and the racist white Christian nationalists that have basically bastardized the word Christianity, and it's like slapping love on a bottle of poison. Like you got some cyanide and you slap on their love potion. You think you're drinking a love potion and you're drinking cyanide, you're drinking poison, and you die. So, but shout out to Dr. Chris Jones. He is running to be the U.S. House of Representative member from Arkansas. His district will be Little Rock. That's the capital of Arkansas. The Little Rock, Arkansas area. So big shout out to Dr. Chris Jones. You will be seeing a lot of Dr. Jones on this show coming up. So he is going to be in the primary in the fall. He won handily. He won easily his Democratic primary. So I'm so happy for Dr. Jones. I call him Cuz. Chris Jones is an amazing man, amazing brother, amazing family. His wife was like a combat helicopter pilot in combat. So he's a badass. His wife is a badass, and he's got 2 beautiful daughters. So he's a girl dad times 2 like myself. So big shout out to you, Cuz. I'm so proud of you. And you've seen his commercial, actually, his launch ad, TV ad you've been seeing on the show. I'm going to play it again because now we got him through the primary. So now we got to get this name and claim and speak it into existence, this general election win. So shout out to you, Dr. Chris Jones over there in Arkansas, going to be repping the Little Rock, Arkansas area. Roy Cooper, who used to be the governor of North Carolina, he beat the brakes. I don't know who this brother was. It's like, dude, what was you running for? I mean, it was embarrassing. So Roy Cooper won with like 92% of the vote. He beat the brakes off this dude. So Roy Cooper had nearly 300,000 votes, and the brother had like less than 7,000. Somewhere around 7,000. Man, if I got my ass beat that bad, I would leave. I'd probably just leave America. I'm like, damn. So, shout out to Governor Roy Cooper. Looks like he's going to be a senator. So that's one less MAGA senator. Now since we're talking about Senate, now the show's about to get real good here. So let's talk about this Texas primary. You had the Democratic and you had the MAGA primary. There's no longer a Republican Party. It's a MAGA, racist, misogynist, sexist cult rooted in racism and patriarchy and hate and all that. And they just slap Christianity, in the phrase, basically co-opting and bastardizing, Christianity and Christ, who never called himself Jesus Christ. Fancy that for all you Bible folks. But so you had, you got these two, you got a mild MAGA dude and John Cornyn, and you got a hardcore, virulent racist and MAGA, cult member in Ken Paxton. I call him Deadeye Ken. oh, Deadeye Ken Deadeye. I don't give a damn. You can get mad if you want to. That's okay. Yeah, look, was a little Deadeye. Cash Patel is like cross-eyed, but Ken Paxton is Deadeye. We call him old Deadeye Dick. So you've got the MAGA light dude against the hardcore MAGA, and they turn in against each other. Great. Y'all have at it. Now, speaking of turning against each other, let's talk about the Texas Democratic primary, where Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico got over 1 million votes. So 2.5 million Democrats showed up for a primary, midterm primary in Texas. So shout out to you, brothers and sisters. Now, James Tallarico won the Democratic primary. As a matter of fact, Jasmine Crockett, she congratulated. I heard some audio. She did reach out to, saw some stories. She reached out to James Tallarico in his campaign. And, she went high. She wasn't nasty, was no nasty, ugly attack ads from either Jasmine Crockett, and I didn't see anything from James Tallarico. Now, I'm not in Texas. As a matter of fact, anybody watching me from Texas, because I see a lot of folks watching, do me a favor. My chat room is open. Get on your keyboard, jump in my live chat room. I believe that there were some ads that were run by some of the MAGA cult members, that they put some money. I'm not saying that James Tallarico sanctioned it, because I hadn't heard that. But I did hear that the MAGA cult members were running some ads because they were really afraid. Jasmine Crockett had these races shook. I mean, like shook. Like shook to the point that where they was shitting in on themselves, smelling like Donald Trump with shitty pants. But James Tallarico won. There was a lot of shady stuff happening, especially in Dallas County, to where at the last moment, they changed the rules to where some of the Democrats could vote there was one I heard a woman on the radio twice on Sirius XM in the morning with Dr. Carr and Lamont King, and then a shout out to Karen Hunter. Same woman was on and talked about how her polling place basically is right behind her house. She said there's an alley and a park and a school. She just walked right across the alley. There's the school and where she's been voting for, what, over a decade now? She voted early. But bottom line is she went over there because she didn't see any people, any campaign signs, any signs for candidates. And they were like, oh, it's a Republican site now, and the Democrats have to go, like 20 miles elsewhere. And the woman said, well, did you all announce it publicly? And I said, oh, well, we think it's going to be up on the website around 12 noon. So listen, these people, listen, you got Texas is like a MAGA on steroids. You got this hardcore racist MAGA governor, Governor Greg Asshole, AKA Governor Hot Wheels. And it's just, listen, if you were like an old, virulent, racist, sexist, misogynist dude rooted in patriarchy, there's a good chance that you could be in Texas politics. And they've been running Texas politics for some time now, which is why they were so shook with Jasmine Crockett. Now, let's get to the subject of James Tallarico. A lot of people upset. I was 10 toes down for Jasmine Crockett, absolutely, positively, unapologetically 10 toes down. I'm still 10 toes down for the sister because, you ain't heard the last of her. She about to really unleash on some folks. Now, if y'all thought that she told it like it was while she was in the U.S. House of Representatives, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. No, you ain't seen nothing yet because she about to unload on a whole lot of folks, including there's levels to racism in America. So you kind of got the mild racists, you got the hardcore racists, and you got the hardcore, virulent, violent racists. Like I've heard, there's been this video that's gone viral, and it's this probably middle-aged white woman, maybe middle-aged, going toward elderly, and she's in tears. She's like, I love Jasmine Crockett. I talked about it last night. She said, I love Jasmine Crockett, but I voted for James Tallarico because I just don't think that Jasmine Crockett could win. That's why she didn't win. I tried to warn people. I said that. Because that's the same narrative they tried to use for Barack Obama when he ran in the primary, Democratic primary, back in 2007. And then Barack Obama won the Iowa primary. And folks were shocked. Even me and my mother were on the phone with each other. A black man won a state that's like 90 plus, somewhere north of 95, somewhere between 94 and 95% or more white. Like 9.5 out of 10 people in Iowa are white. And he won that primary and beat Hillary Clinton and all the other white people who were in that Democratic primary. So it was that thinking, and some of it, because I heard, as a matter of fact, I can't remember this woman. I've seen her. She's done podcasts. I've heard her speak on different shows. It's two white women, but she calls out the racism. She calls out the sexism and the misogyny. She calls out the racism. She calls out white men. She calls out white women. And she kind of did that because she was commenting on this video clip that's gone viral from this white woman, and talked about how So there's another video, and it was a white woman said, well, I'm glad that Tallarico won because he has a softer tone. Okay, black folks, you hear that? James Tallarico had a softer tone than the black woman. Black women, you had to deal with this. You've dealt with this all your life. Softer tone. You're supposed to speak in a softer tone. You just can't be yourself because you got fragile, insecure white people. If you just tell the truth and if you speak confidently with facts and intelligence and you know your shit and people get intimidated by it because they want you to shrink. They don't want you to outshine them. They don't want to feel insecure because they realize, wow, this person is smarter than I am, more intelligent, more well-read, more confident. So it makes some of these people, some of these white MAGA folks, and some of the not MAGA, but you know the mild races, the light races that vote Democrat. I'm just calling it all out tonight. So all that played a part in it. It still is like, well, he's got a softer tone. Now he's a relatively soft-speaking guy. I believe his dad was a pastor, and he speaks about his Christianity, but he has condemned publicly. I will give him credit. He has condemned this racist remix version, this remix racist Christianity that's called white Christian nationalism. That's not rooted in any principles of Jesus Christ. It's rooted in bigotry, hatred, misogyny, sexism, power, and money. No tenets of the Bible, all that no, none of that bullshit. Talking about abortion, no. Nowhere in the Bible Jesus told women they couldn't terminate a pregnancy. So just stop that. Actually, there's passages in the Bible, depending on which version you got, without using the word abortion, they basically gave a green light if women wanted to end a pregnancy. But listen, I'm not the theologian. I'm not going down that road. And I got a message for a lot of these so-called Christians, especially these white Christian nationalists call themselves, I'm a good Christian, and we go to Paula White's church or Joel Osteen, and we watch TBN, and we got our Bible, and we go to the Bible study on a Wednesday and praise God, and using the N-word, and giving pedophiles a pass, or maybe they're pedophiles themselves. But talk about how I'm a good Christian. I'm a good Christian, and I believe in the Lord. My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And ain't nothing that you do in your life Christ-like. I'm gonna go back to that. I'm gonna close. That'll be the end of the show. I'm gonna come back to the Christians and call out the who's that talk about how Christian they are. All right, so let's get back to James Tallarico. I've been watching dude for a while. He doesn't have hateful energy. He did say some slick racist shit, and he kind of did it. I'm just gonna call him out. He did it in a cowardly way. So he was talking to a black woman that was a supporter of his, and he was critiquing a guy named Colin Allred. So Colin Allred is a black guy who played in the NFL, had a decent career in the NFL, 4 solid years, and he hurt his neck. He couldn't play anymore. Then he went to law school, went back to school, went to law school. A very intelligent brother, and a very civil, got the correct decorum. It goes to show you, you can't try to be speaking in soft tones and having the proper decorum and Mr. Kumbaya and yes, can we all get along and love, peace, and soul? To these racists, to these virulent, bigoted, racist, and misogynist, and sexist, none of that shit matters, okay? I don't care how I don't know how good you are, how much of a Christian you can go out and wash people's feet and feed the hungry and take care of the sick or pay their medical bills. You could do all the stuff that Jesus Christ was talking about, that folks, that whole Matthew 23rd version of Christianity that MAGA don't know shit about, that they don't even ascribe or believe in that. But I digress. I want to go back to James Tallarico. He has called out the white Christian nationalists and called out their bigotry. To his credit, I'll give him that. He is, his record. Some people would call, he speaks out. That he believes that everybody should have health care, a form of like Medicare for all. I'm paraphrasing. As a matter of fact, I went back and looked at some of his voting record before I came on today. I don't know, dude, and that's something we gotta put. These politicians are not celebrities. Media has made a lot of politicians celebrities, and some of the politicians wanted to be celebrities. But see, there's a difference between a politician and a public servant. Now, politicians by nature are public servants. But some politicians, it's just like some folks that call themselves Christian, and the only thing Christian about them is that word that they call themselves. Nothing in their life, nothing else that they do or say, but they call themselves Christian, and the only thing that's Christian about them is that word that came out of their mouth. Politicians. Some politicians, all politicians are public servants. They are elected by the public. And your job is to serve the public. But yet some politicians are serving themselves and their family. Your orange Hitler, your orange Lord and Savior. All right. But so here we are. So this is where I want to kind of tie things up here. Going forward, we need to vote early. All right. I'm not campaigning for James Tallarico. I don't know him. He seems like he's decent. Now, I'm going to be honest. There's something, and I don't, because people say, well, you want to have facts, not feelings. But I know one thing. My instinct, my spirit is like spider sense. And I pick up on people's, because we all have a spirit, there's energy. And my spider sense, my spirit is never wrong. Now, I'm wrong a lot, but my spirit, if my spirit picks up on something, it's never wrong. The only time things went wrong when I did not listen to what I was feeling until I saw it. Now, there's something, I get a little bit of phoniness, but there's a lot of phony politicians. So here's my bottom line. Do as you must, but understand now, people came up with all these lame-ass excuses for Kamala Harris. Oh, she ain't really black. Bullshit, she is. Daddy was Jamaican. She was born, raised in Oakland. That's about as black as you can get. That's like the south side of Chicago. Or growing up in Harlem back in the day. I digress. She was bougie, because she was in a sorority. She was married to a white dude. Y'all don't want to go there. Because some of y'all, well, she married to, okay, just stop talking. Because if you cheering on Serena, Venus, and Eve, and I ain't mad at them. I got love for the sisters. Now, Serena, she gave several brothers a shot. Common, well, Drake, I don't know if he really counts. It's half a brother. But all these lame excuses. Oh, well, Genocide Joe, and this wasn't, Joe Biden's foreign policy was not Kamala Harris's foreign policy. And when Kamala Harris decided to run, she was very critical of that racist-ass prime minister, Israel's version of Orange Hitler, who led Trump by his nose into this war, this second war, because They attacked Iran with missiles and supposedly destroyed their nuclear capability until they didn't. Oh, well, we didn't get it all, so now we got to go back. And now, we got to go back because we didn't get all the nuclear weapons. Oh, they got missiles, these intercontinental ballistic missiles that can hit the United States. Oh, bullshit. They don't really have that. They don't have it. Well, regime change, and we want to kill. We killed the Ayatollah, and the leaders and the people should rise up and take control. But they can't take control because they got a very oppressive, evil, murderous regime that has killed tens of thousands of people. So you had two evil, diabolical, satanic, messianic, narcissistic, pathological liars in Owen Hitler and Bibi Netanyahu that got Owen Hitler to go in with him because Bibi Netanyahu's had a hard-on for Iran for years. So you got evil that was running, very oppressive, murdering people. You had evil Prime Minister of Israel that murdered tens of thousands, probably close, maybe somewhere in the hundreds of thousands, basically exterminated, performed genocide on the people of Gaza, and they're still bombing and killing people, and they've shut off the food to Gaza. So Netanyahu is an evil, he's not a dictator to his own people, even though just go to Haaretz, the majority of the people do not like Bibi Netanyahu. He's trying to stay out of jail. And we know how evil Orange Hitler is. He's got his own private military, secret police, Gestapo, Nazi, ICE agents, and Custom and Border Patrol shooting American citizens down in cold blood in broad daylight. So you've got evil on all sides. The pot trying to call the kettle black. So what does that do? What does it have to do with James Tallarico and voting for James Tallarico? Because this is not about who you like. This is even not about Democrats and Republicans. Everybody do me a favor. Stop listening to these labels because, as my grandfather said, they put you in a trick bag and tie it up. They put you in a trick bag, throwing all these labels, Democrats and Republicans and liberals and conservatives. Because what we are living in and through now has nothing. The labels don't mean shit. Don't. Because we are choosing between humanity and inhumanity. The inhumanity of what was happening to Palestinians and people of Gaza, the inhumanity of what Orange Hitler had unleashed, what he has unleashed with ICE agents snatching up babies, 2- and 5-year-old babies, and snatching school teachers out of school, and shooting and killing American citizens, even white folk. Remember that whiteness is made up. They don't give a shit about. Whiteness was created to divide and conquer people who didn't have a lot of money and power. Centuries ago. Once again, the trick bag, divide and conquer. So the only way to stop this madness, hopefully it won't be too late, because this war in Iraq, gas prices have shot up already. I warned Damaris and Allie. I said, you all need, Saturday, I said, you all need to go out right now today and fill up your tank. Even grocery prices have shot up. This little piece of body of water called the Strait of Hormuz, just south of. So you've got the Persian Gulf, you got Iran on the east side, on the west side of the Persian Gulf, you've got, let's see, Qatar, you've got Saudi Arabia, you got Bahrain, you got the UAE, United Arab Emirates, and you got a country called Oman. And all of this oil, all that Persian oil, all that oil from the Persian Gulf, I think 30% of the oil they use for gasoline and 20% of the world's natural gas comes from that region. Now it's shut down. Now you got you got your favorite drunk, punk ass Pete Hegseth, bench pressing 315 pounds, and he got his little 80, 90-pound son trying to hold it, spot him. I saw that video, which was crazy, because dude, and even though you only lifted that 315 pounds one time, boy, son slipped, you'd have choked yourself to death, because that little 80, 90-pound-year-old son that you had spotting you, he couldn't have done shit. It'll hung you and his ass, but I digress. So we have a simple choice. We choose humanity and inhumanity. And from what I've seen, what I've heard with my own ears, and what I've seen with his voting record, James Tallarico chooses humanity. Like I said, I'm not caping for him because it's not about him. It's not a vote. So voting for James Tallarico, you are not voting for him. You are voting for humanity. And he is the vessel to make sure that we can restore humanity. And guess what? A U.S. Senate term is a 6-year term. We can keep our foot on his neck politically, and if he gets in and pulls, or John Fetterman is this guy that won the U.S. Senate seat in Pennsylvania, who basically is like MAGA light. He voted against George Bush, and okay, even though John Fetterman I knew was a problem, that's a whole nother story, because when he was in politics in Pennsylvania, his district was near Pittsburgh, part of the like a suburban area of Pittsburgh, which I know well, Braddock, because I did radio in Pittsburgh for 3 years. All right. So my point is, listen, those who choose humanity and want to end this inhumanity here in America, and to get Orange Hitler under control, eventually get him out, vote early in November, get James Tallarico in the U.S. Senate, get Roy Cooper in the U.S. Senate, and get as many people as we can who will vote for humanity, who will vote to make sure that gas prices and groceries are affordable, and that everybody can get health care, and that can afford to buy a house, can get mortgage assistance, that can make sure that they can afford to pay rent because the rent is too damn high, that can restore people's civil rights and human rights for everybody, and to get rid of the white nationalists, these racist as violent as fake Christian white nationalist regime out of the White House. And to get out of this war, get out of Bibi Netanyahu, that racist ass prime minister, punk ass prime minister of Israel, who led Orange Hitler by his nose into this war with Iran, stop Orange Hitler from sending American troops, American soldiers into Iraq. If I was a senator, I would draft up legislation, a bill that said that anyone from the president, anyone in his cabinet, anyone in the executive branch or legislative branch. So from Orange Hitler and his little punk ass vice president to punk ass Pete Hegseth, anyone in his cabinet, anyone, any U.S. senator or U.S. House of Representative member, anyone that voted to send American troops to Iraq to fight on the ground in a ground war, if they have a son or daughter or a grandchild or niece or nephew of voting age, 18 or over, they are instantly, the minute that vote goes through, and if they vote to approve Orange Hitler sending ground troops, the minute that little decrepit ass orange Satan signs that bill into law, or even if he doesn't, we need to get enough people to basically override the veto. But you should have a law where everybody that votes to, or by executive order, which constitutionally he can't do, because you can't install a draft. That's an act of Congress. But no, if you do that, then automatically anybody that votes for or signs off on American soldiers going over to Iraq to fight a ground war, instantly, anyone in your family that's of voting age, like I said, son, daughter, grandchild, niece, nephew, instantly are drafted into the military and instantly skip boot camp. The hell with boot camp. Fuck boot camp. No boot camp. Send their ass straight to the front line. Give them a gun. Have at it. Since your daddy, your granddaddy, your uncle believes that we should be, invading Iraq, engaging in regime change. Okay, you want regime change? Fine. Then send your kids over there before you start sending the rest of these American people, poor, working class. No, you big and bold. Get little Barron Trump's little punk ass. He should be the first one with a gun. Give him an M16, skip boot camp, and put a little helmet on his ass, and send his little skinny punk ass and put him on the front line. And Don Jr., probably not too old, send their ass over there. You voted for this, you started this war, then let your kids go fight it. Don't send somebody else's kids over to Iraq to die. If you believe in this and you believe that, supposedly there was some memo that was floating around in the military to where one of the leaders said, Donald Trump has been anointed by God because getting ready for the Armageddon and to go ahead and to basically to destroy Iran. Okay, you keep believing that racist racist version of Christianity, it's going to get a lot of folks effed up, a lot of folks hurt. But if you believe it, Orange Hitler, Donald J, the J stands for jackass, Donald J. Trump, if you believe in this war that much, send Barron's ass and send Don Jr. and Eric with him and give them all M16s and put their ass on the front line, right in front. And send Pete Hegseth with his, Tommy Tough Boy wannabe ass. Bench pressing, pressing 300, press that M16. Go on over there. You're talking about war fighters, lethal war fighters. So since you were such a lethal war fighter, Pete Hegseth, before you start sending other people's kids, take your punk ass over there with Barron and Don Jr. and Eric. And the rest of these cult members that sign off on it, Lindsey Graham ain't got no kids. I would send his old ass over there anyway. Don't send, you've already got at least 6 Americans killed over some bullshit that Bibi Netanyahu got you in, and that these Arab countries are cool with because they didn't like Iran anyway. And folks want to get into Iran. They want regime change so they can go ahead and take control of the oil. Even Orange Hitler has said that, we should go to Iran and take that. He's always talking about taking somebody's shit. Now, you notice he never talked about taking China's shit or taking Russia's shit. That's a whole nother conversation. So the bottom line, vote early in November. Yes, vote for James Tallarico. He's not a savior. He ain't your friend. I don't know, dude. He seemed cool, but I don't give a damn what he seems like. Now I have watched his voting record. I heard what he said. I think he got a little phoniness. He a little phony, but we'll see. I don't care how phony he is. At the end of the day, if he leans into humanity, and if his voting record makes sure that he leans into humanity, and make sure that people, that gas and groceries and healthcare and housing are affordable, and people are not going broke, and that he's going to make sure that people's civil rights and voting rights are protected and human rights are protected, then show me. Don't tell me. I don't want to. And so so those who call themselves Democrats, who lean into humanity, can take control of the United States. That's the move. Here's the ultimate play. Get enough people who believe in humanity as U.S. senators and U.S. House of Representatives, enough to take control of the U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate, so you can impeach in the House of Representatives, then convict and evict Owen Schittler and his racist regime out of the White House. That's the play. James Tallarico, he is a vessel, all right? He is a delivery system. He got a job to do. He got one job. Make sure that you are voting for humanity and you are voting to end all this domestic terror of ICE. Fuck ICE. Yes. That's his job. And if he starts moonwalking and doing something different, we come for his ass in 6 years. And anyone else that switches up. So if you get in there and, oh yeah, I'm for the people, and then you get in there and then, you start taking money from these billionaires and doing that, we coming for you too. But in the meantime, choose between humanity, because we know these MAGA cult members have no humanity. They lean fully into inhumanity, proudly. They shout it out at the rooftops. They take pride in being a racist and misogynist and sexist and protecting pedophiles. For the people that's upset about Owen Schittler protecting the pedophiles, and his name is mentioned in the Epstein files, they say, more than Harry Potter's mentioned in the Harry Potter book series. Somebody said, Owen Schittler's name is mentioned more than Jesus' name is mentioned in the Bible. I can't confirm or deny that, but it's mentioned. I saw some number somewhere like 3 million times, like all the Epstein files, including the ones they haven't released. So, in closing this monologue, shout out to, who is, hey Rosalind, how are you? Hey, everyone having a blessed, thank you, and everybody else checking in. So in closing, this is for all those. Don't tell me about how good a Christian you are, or Muslim, or Hindu, or Jew. Don't tell me about your Christian faith, or your, like I said, your Muslim, or your Hindu, or your Jewish faith. Do not tell me. I don't want to hear. Stop talking. Don't say shit to me. Don't tell me a word I don't want to hear about. Faith. You show me your true faith, how you treat the least of these. You show me by your actions, by your behavior, and by the policies you vote for. Otherwise, stop talking. Shut up. You judge a fruit, they say, by the, you judge a tree. Let me get that correct. You judge a tree by the fruit it bears. Tell me your Christian faith, right? Christian nationalist. You've already showed me by your actions and your behaviors, your actions, your behavior, the policies you supported, your vote, how you vote, what you vote for, and your words come last. The actions say everything. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you, God, most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live, Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Programming note, no live show on Friday. So tomorrow, Thursday show is going to be a Friday show. No live show Friday, and no live show next Tuesday. But it'll be the best of. So come here. You can come here at 7:30. You can come to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Really, anytime, 24/7, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Leap year, 366 and a half. Right, and don't forget, by the way, the clocks go ahead 1 hour. Saturday night before you go to bed, 2 o'clock becomes 3 o'clock. Spring forward. So you're going to lose an hour of sleep. You'll get an extra hour of sunlight, but you're going to lose an hour of sleep. So go to bed early. Try to go to bed early tonight. Extra hour early if you can. All right. The Geno Jones Show brought to you by the town of Hollywood, South Carolina, Mayor Chardale Murray and Murray's Mortuary. They have 3 locations here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. Hollywood, South Carolina, Johns Island, South Carolina, and North Charleston, South Carolina. Mayor Chardale Murray, thank you so very much. The town of Hollywood, South Carolina, you will be seeing Mayor Murray and some of her council people. It was one of the council women. They have some exciting things happening in the town of Hollywood, South Carolina. If you would like to support the show, first, if you'd like to be a sponsor, like the town of Hollywood, South Carolina, yes, I'd love to have you as part of the Geno Jones Show family. So this is what you do. Shoot me an email. I'll get you all the sponsorship information. Bam! Geno Jones Show. Send your email to GenoJonesShow@gmail, all one word, no the, right there. That's how you spell it. GenoJonesShow@gmail. All right? Now, you can support the show financially if you want to. You can do it right now. You can do it if you get paid Friday, whenever. You can do it if you hit the lottery. You can support the show using Zelle, using that same email address, GenoJonesShow, all one word, @gmail.com. No amount is too small or too large, okay? Or you can financially support the show. Yes, you can financially support the show using Cash App. $ Dad G Jones, once again, all one word, $ capital D, lowercase a d, capital G J, lowercase O-N-E-S. $ Dad G Jones. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her Lexi Jones collection out. LX.NCL_LX.N. Like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi, _. Shout out to Mario, Mr. Bruce Gage. Shout out to Mario Uomo too. He supplies some of the wardrobe. Check him out on Instagram, IG, Bruce Gage. Miglio di Mario Uomo. Search Mario Uomo on Instagram. You'll see it. And Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts. Check him out. Kel be cutting up on Instagram. KELBECUTTINUP. We'll see you Thursday live. No live show this Friday. A live show Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget, tell everybody. Like right now, everybody watching. If you haven't done it, click on the like button right now. We got to let them algorithms, as they say, let them algorithms, let YouTube know. Man, this is the hottest show on YouTube right here, the Geno Jones Show. Like, share, and subscribe, because we are, 5 or 6 new subscribers away. We make that happen tonight. I hit 1,000 new subscribers and my media company gets a check from YouTube. It's so important that we support Black-owned media. We got to have alternative media because corporate media is controlled by MAGA now. So tell the truth, shame the devil. That's what we do here. And that's what we need, because the mother folks, you're just wasting your time. Few folks on MS Now doing some good stuff, but I digress. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking on the likes. Thank you for sharing the show and tagging the show. And thank you, everybody who has subscribed and everybody that is about to subscribe and everybody that's telling everybody else to subscribe. We'll see you live Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
When Geraldine and I tell our girls about growing up in the 80s and 90s, it's like talking about a whole different planet. We used to play outside till the street lights came on. We drank straight out of the water hose, ran everywhere, explored, got lost, got hurt, busted our knees, our heads, and our butts. Nobody knew where we were, what we were doing, or who we were with. I'm Chris Jones. I'm a rocket scientist, a minister, and a girl dad. And I have a theory about why childhood and everything else feels different now. Because gravity hasn't changed, but the price of a trip to the hospital has. Blue jeans, Jordans, gas, groceries, and health insurance. Everything is more expensive, and it's scaring us out of risk, innovation, and the joy of life itself. It was more affordable to fall, to fail, to get back up. And our parents trusted America enough to let us run free. Bankruptcy was for gamblers and crooked real estate developers, not middle-class families, not teachers, not cancer patients. I'm running for Congress because the fall of the American working class wasn't an accident. It was a political decision. Meet my congressman, French Hill, the most powerful banker in America. He's my opponent, but he's your problem too. He chairs the Financial Services Committee and fights anything that looks like consumer protection. The law to limit overdraft fees to $5.
This is a change that could save American households $5 billion in overdraft charges every year.
French Hill killed it. Yep, they even found a way to make being broke more expensive. If there's anybody who's gotta go, it's him. I'm blessed. I studied hard, earned 2 degrees from Morehouse College, then 2 masters and a PhD from MIT. I married my best friend, who's a combat veteran and an ER doctor. God gave us 3 beautiful daughters, and along that journey, I earned the votes of 319,000 Arkansans who believe we deserve better. I have good news for you. You can still go outside till the street lights come on. We call it organizing. Just you and a few friends fighting for your freedom, standing up for each other. We have 12 months to win this election. We have a poll that makes this a 1-point race and a grassroots organization that has been growing for 3.5 years. This district is full of fighters. We're doing the hard work, and we need you to join us.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.